Before we start, please make sure to like this video and hit this subscribe button, so you never miss a story like this. And also comments where you are watching from, how many sons and daughters you have. Thanks.
My name is Jenna Cross. I'm from Austin, Texas. And the night Karen broke into my house changed my entire life. You psycho. Get out of my house. I was screaming at the top of my lungs, holding a fireplace poker in my shaking hands, but Karen didn't flinch. She just smiled, a twisted, smug smile like she belonged there. She just stepped inside, bold as ever, using my spare key. She slammed the door behind her. Oh, I'm not going anywhere, Jenna. Not until I get what's mine. My heart pounded, my hands trembled, and my gut told me this was going to get ugly. I lunged first. Adrenaline took over. I swung the poker wide, aiming for her shoulder, but Karen ducked and knocked over the coat rack between us. She was fast, way too fast for someone in designer heels. I backed toward the hallway, not taking my eyes off her. She'd broken into my home, no warning, no text, no call, just turned the key and waltzed in like she owned the place. I should have known something was coming. I should have seen it, but I was stupid. I trusted her, and now she was here to collect. Don't you dare come closer, I shouted again, my voice cracking. I wasn't just angry, I was scared, but she kept walking, calmly, like we were having coffee, and this was her kitchen. You think you're safe just because you changed your number? She said. You can't erase what happened, Jenna. You can't hide. My grip tightened around. The poker, you lost your job because you tried to frame me, Karen. That wasn't my fault. You're lucky I didn't press charges. Oh, please, she spat. You think you're better than me just because your daddy bought you a house? This house is mine. I paid for every inch of it with my own blood. Get out. But Karen didn't move. She just looked around slowly, eyes tracing the walls, the furniture, the framed pictures, her lip curled, still playing house like you've got the perfect life, she sneered. But I know who you really are, Jenna, and I'm not leaving. Until everyone else does too. That's when I realized she wasn't just here to fight. She was here to ruin me. She pulled something from her bag, a flash drive. What is that? I demanded. Let's just say it has evidence. Of what? Karen? I asked, my voice lower now, shaky, of who you really are. And that was her game. Not just to scare me. She wanted to destroy everything I'd built. You see, 6 months ago, Karen and I were coworkers and roommates. I let her move into my guest room when she said she couldn't afford rent. I fed her. I gave her job leads. I even helped her rewrite her resume. She said I was the only one who believed in her. And I believed that, until I found out she was siphoning money from our joint grocery card, stealing deliveries, lying about her hours, whispering rumors to our boss. The day I finally confronted her, she swore she'd take me down with her. I thought she was just bluffing. But here she was, in my house, uninvited, armed with secrets and a plan. She waved the flash drive like it was gold. You think your precious nonprofit will still want you when they see this, when they hear my side. My hands were still trembling, but now I lowered the poker. My fight-or-flight was starting to turn into cold focus. What do you want, Karen? She tilted her head. An apology, a real one. On video, admitting everything you did to me. You mean everything you did to yourself? Say it, Jenna, or I'll show them everything. My voice dropped to a whisper. There's nothing on that drive. Her eyes narrowed. Are you sure? I stepped forward, slowly. I know what you're doing. You're lonely. You lost your job, your fake friends, your influencer gigs, and you think hurting me will make it hurt less? But it won't. For a second, just 1 second, her eyes flickered. Pain, grief, maybe even guilt. But it disappeared like it was never there. She stepped closer. I'm giving you 24 hours, she said, or I burn it all down. Then she tossed the flash drive on the floor, turned, and walked out, slamming the door behind her. I didn't move. I couldn't. My knees were locked, my mind racing. She had nothing. She had something. I didn't know what was true anymore. All I knew was that this wasn't over. Not even close, and that was just the beginning. If you think this fight is over, think again. Because when someone tries to burn your life down, you either run or you rebuild stronger than ever. Don't go anywhere. This story is about to expose secrets, revenge, and the power of standing your ground. Even when your past walks right through your front door. Asterisk. I didn't sleep that night. I sat on the couch with the poker still in my lap and the front door triple locked, like that would keep the past from creeping back in. My hands were cold. My coffee went untouched. And the flash drive sat on the floor like a bomb that hadn't gone off yet. Asterisk, I knew Karen. I lived with her. And if she wanted to destroy me, she'd stop at nothing until she did. Asterisk the next morning, I went straight to the office early before anyone else arrived. I had to check the system, the servers, my emails, everything. My nonprofit's reputation was the only thing keeping us alive right now. If she'd planted anything, if she'd sent anything, but there was nothing. Yet asterisk still, I felt that same nauseating dread crawling up my spine. You know that feeling when someone's watching you, even when you're alone? That's how it felt walking through the halls. Every smile from a coworker felt fake. Every glance felt like a judgment. Asterisk I kept hearing Karen's voice in my head. Asterisk, I'm giving you 24 hours, or I burn it all down. Asterisk, that deadline haunted me like a countdown clock ticking inside my chest. Every time I looked at the clock on the wall to 9 a.m., las 11 alto m, 1:15 p.m. it felt like I was racing towards something terrible and couldn't stop it. Asterisk, by the time lunch rolled around, I couldn't sit still. I grabbed my phone and called the one person I didn't want to involve. Asterisk, hey mom. Asterisk, her voice was warm, but cautious. Jenna, what's wrong? Asterisk, and just like that, my walls broke. It's Karen. She came back. She was in my house. She's threatening to ruin everything. Asterisk, silence. Then, asterisk, you need to call the police. Asterisk, she has a key. She used to live with me. I let her in. She could say it's her stuff, her flash drive, her story against mine. Asterisk, then change your locks, baby, and change your friends while you're at it. Asterisk, she was right, but it didn't feel that simple, because Karen didn't just know my passwords, she knew me, my triggers, my secrets, my biggest mistake. Asterisk, you see, a year ago, something happened, something I buried deep and never told anyone, not even mom. Asterisk, and Karen knew. Later that afternoon, I got the text. Unknown number, 24 hours starts now. TikTok. Asterisk, I stared at it. Heart thudding. I clicked the contact. No name, no clue. But I knew exactly who it was. She was really going through with it. That night I did the only thing I could. I opened that flash drive. Asterisk, it was encrypted. Password protected. Classic Karen, just enough paranoia to make herself feel powerful. Asterisk, but I wasn't completely powerless. I had Sam. Asterisk. Sam was at my job and an old friend. One of the few people who still had my back no matter what. I called him, shaky, nervous. Asterisk, Jenna. You okay? Asterisk, I need a favor. Big one. Asterisk, okay. What kind of favor? Asterisk, a break into a flash drive type of favor. To his credit, he didn't ask a single question. An hour later, we were sitting in my living room, laptop glowing in the dark, fingers typing fast. Asterisk, looks like she used a basic AES lock, encrypted the root folder with a nested password. Might take a while. And while he typed, my mind was spinning. What was she hiding? What did she think she had on me? Asterisk did. She recorded that night. Asterisk, the night everything changed. Asterisk, because if she did, asterisk, if she had proof. Then she wasn't just dangerous, she was lethal. Asterisk, Sam leaned back after 30 minutes. I'm in. He clicked open the folder. Videos, voice memos, screenshots, emails, asterisk, I leaned in, and then I saw it. My heart sank. A video file named Jenna_confession_final.mp4. My fingers hovered over the mouse. Sam looked at me. You sure you want to see this? I wasn't, but I clicked anyway. Asterisk, the screen flickered for a second. Then the video began. It was me, sitting on my old apartment's balcony, wind, blowing a wine glass in my hand, hair messy, eyes red, and Karen's voice behind the camera, soft and coaxing like she was luring me into something. Asterisk, greater than just say it. You'll feel better. No one will ever hear it. I looked straight into the camera and whispered, greater than it was an accident. I didn't mean for her to fall. I was trying to protect myself. She kept coming at me. She wouldn't stop. I panicked. I pushed. Asterisk, and that was it. The video ended. But the silence that followed was louder than any scream. Sam turned toward me slowly. What was that? I couldn't breathe. That night, the one Karen kept hanging over my head. It happened almost 2 years ago. Her sister Melanie came over drunk high and ready for a fight. We'd argued before, but that night was different. Asterisk, she broke a lamp, threw a bottle, screamed about money Karen owed her. Asterisk, she grabbed my arm so hard, I still have the bruise in old pictures. Asterisk, and when I shoved her off me, she lost her balance. Asterisk, she hit the railing, she fell. Not from a building, asterisk, but hard enough to be hospitalized. She never pressed charges, never came back. Asterisk and Karen swore we'd never speak of it again. Until now. Asterisk, so she's blackmailing you? Sam asked, voice low. Asterisk, I nodded. She said if I don't wire her $50,000, she send that to the board. Or worse, the press. Asterisk, he rubbed his face. That's not a confession, Jenna. It's a scared woman speaking after trauma. You didn't kill her. Asterisk, try telling that to the internet if it leaks. I said I'll lose everything. My nonprofit? My credibility. I've worked 10 years to build all this. One video, and I'm done. The silence stretched, then Sam asked the question I hadn't let myself ask. Asterisk, why now? Why would she come back after all this time? Because the money wasn't about money. Karen never just wanted cash. She wanted control. She always did. Asterisk, even when we were friends, she had this way of turning everything into a test of loyalty. She'd dare me to lie, just to prove I was on her side. Tell me secrets, then threaten to expose them just to watch me squirm. Karen didn't need reasons. She needed an audience. Asterisk, the next morning, I found the envelope taped to my car. Windshield, asterisk, no stamp, no handwriting. Just a blank white envelope sealed with cheap tape. Asterisk inside, a printed image, one still frame from the video. My face mid-confession, and beneath it, one sentence typed in bold red font, greater than 18 hours left. Asterisk, I. Nearly vomited. Asterisk. This wasn't just a game to her. This was war. Psychological, calculated war, and I had no idea how far she'd go. But I knew one thing now. I couldn't wait this out. Asterisk, I had to beat her at her own game. That evening, I met with someone I hadn't seen in years. Her name was Alexis. She used to be Karen's best friend. Until Karen screwed her over too. Asterisk, when I called her, I expected her to hang up. Instead, she said, "Took you long enough." Asterisk, we met at a small diner downtown. She looked older, colder, but sharper than ever. Asterisk, I told her everything. She didn't blink. Then she pulled something from her purse, a thumb drive. Here, she said. It's your insurance policy. I looked at her, confused. What is it? Asterisk, a video. From my old apartment. Security camera. Asterisk, what's on it? Her smile was razor thin, greater than the night Melanie fell. From a different angle, one Karen never knew existed. Asterisk, my heart pounded as I slid the USB into my laptop. Asterisk, Alexis stood over me, arms crossed. You need to see the truth with your own eyes before you try to fight her. I opened the file. The timestamp read, 11:07 p.m. 2 years ago. Asterisk, the grainy footage showed my old balcony, the edge just visible. Inside, you could make out me and Melanie through the glass doors. Asterisk, she was yelling, waving her hands. Asterisk, and Karen was there too. She was standing behind Melanie, watching, waiting. Asterisk, the video had no sound, but body language said enough. Melanie lunged toward me. I stepped back. Karen moved behind her. It was so fast I almost missed it. But Alexis paused it, zoomed in, slowed the clip. Greater than Karen's hand reached out, gripped Melanie's shoulder, asterisk, and shoved her hard. She fell sideways, not even in my direction. My stomach turned asterisk. I remembered Melanie charging at me. I remembered falling back. I remembered her scream. But I never remembered Karen touching her. She drugged you, Alexis said quietly. I saw her spike your wine that night. You probably blacked part of it out. I stared at the screen. Every memory I'd tortured. Myself with every ounce of guilt, and it wasn't even mine to carry. Why? I whispered. Asterisk, Alexis exhaled. Like she'd been waiting to tell me this for years. Asterisk, because Karen didn't want her sister testifying against her. I leaned back, breath caught in my throat. Asterisk, what are you talking about? Asterisk, she used your nonprofit name to funnel donor money. Fake invoices, stolen identities. Melanie found out, confronted her. And that night wasn't random. Karen brought her to your place on purpose. She just didn't plan for you to survive it with a bruised conscience. My legs went weak. All this time, Karen had made me believe I was the villain. Asterisk, while she'd set me up to be her fall girl in case the feds ever sniffed around. Asterisk, it wasn't blackmail. It was leverage, a long con. And I was her insurance policy. Asterisk, I stood up. I need to go to the police. Asterisk, Alexis shook her head. Not yet. Asterisk, why not? She committed fraud, assault. I have the proof now. Asterisk, she still has her copy of your confession. She leaks that. It goes viral before the truth comes out. You'll be canceled before anyone cares about your innocence. She was right. People Don't wait for facts, they react to headlines. Asterisk Karen didn't need the law on her side. She had the internet. So what do? I asked. Alexis pulled out her phone and smiled. Asterisk, greater than we beat her at her own game. You're going to record a message, and I'm going to make sure the world sees it first. That night, I sat in front of a plain wall. No makeup, eyes, raw from crying, and I spoke the truth. I told them about the accident, the fear, the guilt I carried. Asterisk, I told them how Karen manipulated me, framed me, blackmailed me. Asterisk, I told them about the video, the one she threatened to release, and the real one. I now had Alexis edited both into a side-by-side, Karen's blackmail attempt and her actual betrayal. And before the sun rose, it went live, everywhere. Asterisk. The video dropped at 7:03 a.m. By 7:06, my phone was melting. Asterisk comments. Shares DMs from strangers and journalists in old college, classmates I hadn't spoken to in years. Most were stunned. Some apologized for doubting me. Asterisk, but the loudest voices, they were coming for Karen, greater than she gaslit her own friend for years. Asterisk, this woman deserves prison. Asterisk, we believed her. She was the villain the whole time. It went viral before I had time to eat breakfast. Alexis had sent it to 3 advocacy pages, and it caught like wildfire. Asterisk, by 9 a.m., Karen's profile was locked. Asterisk, by 10. She showed up at my office. She didn't knock, just stormed in. Same red lipstick, same crocodile smile, but her hands were shaking. You think this little pity parade of yours changes anything? She snapped. You lied to everyone about what happened to Melanie. No, I said quietly. You did. I stood up. You drugged me. You pushed her. You framed me. And now the world finally sees who you really are. Asterisk, Karen stepped forward, eyes wide with rage. Asterisk, you owe me. Jenna, if I go down, I swear I cut her off. Then go down, swinging, because I'm done being afraid of you. Security came in and escorted her out. But not before asterisk 3 days after the video went viral. The police knocked on my door. Asterisk, but this time, it wasn't for me. It was for my official statement. Karen was under investigation for wire fraud, tax evasion, falsifying legal documents, and obstruction of justice. Asterisk, turns out, the nonprofit accounts she used to launder money weren't just local, they crossed state lines, which meant federal charges. The detective, a quiet, serious woman named Ruiz, looked at me like I was something rare. Asterisk, you know, she said, flipping through my signed statement. Most people wouldn't survive what she put you through, let alone come back swinging. I gave a tired smile. I didn't survive because I was strong. I survived because I had no other choice. Melanie flew in a week later. Asterisk, when I saw her at the airport, fragile, pale, her arm in a soft brace from an old, untreated break. Asterisk, I realized I wasn't the only one Karen had destroyed. We hugged for a long time. She sobbed in my arms. Asterisk, greater than. She told me I imagined it all. She whispered. Asterisk, that you hated me. That you tried to push me off that balcony. I shook my head, choking back my own tears. She's always been the storm. You just got caught in it like the rest of us. We sat at a quiet coffee shop that night, and she told me everything. The lies, the forged checks, the way Karen convinced her to lie under oath, then ghosted her when things got hot. Asterisk, she always said people would believe her over me. Melanie said. Asterisk, because she looked perfect. That line stuck in my chest, because that's exactly how Karen won. Asterisk, she looked like perfection, but perfection hides rot better than anything. The trial date was set for mid-April, but 2 weeks before that, I got another visitor. Asterisk only. This time, it wasn't Karen, it was her lawyer. Tall, expensive suit, all charm, no soul. He sat across from me, uninvited, and slid a manila envelope onto my table. What's this? I asked. Asterisk, a deal, he said smoothly. Drop your cooperation, sign a non-disclosure, and you'll receive a payment. 6 figures, clean, offshore. No strings except silence. I stared at him for a moment, then I leaned in, smile razor sharp. Asterisk, tell Karen. The only thing I'll be signing is her sentencing form when she's found guilty. He blinked, didn't even try to hide his surprise. Asterisk, and when he stood to leave, he didn't bother with goodbye. That night, someone broke my window. A rock, thrown hard, glass everywhere. No note, just the message in the silence. Karen wasn't done, not even close. Asterisk, she had nothing left to lose. Asterisk, and people like her are most dangerous when they're cornered. Asterisk screamed one last threat in the hallway. Asterisk, I'll make sure you regret this. I didn't respond, but Sam stood behind me. Asterisk, he put a hand on my shoulder and said, just loud enough for her to hear. Asterisk funny. That's the exact thing your sister said about you. ... In her statement to the police, Karen's face went white because, what she didn't know, Melanie had talked. Alexis found her, brought her in? Asterisk, and when Melanie saw the footage and realized she'd been manipulated, too, she signed an affidavit. Turns out Karen was right. People talk. Asterisk, and the truth. It doesn't stay buried forever. That night, I didn't sleep. Asterisk not because I was scared anymore, but because I was free. For the first time in years, my story wasn't locked inside shame. Asterisk, I had the truth. I had my name back, asterisk, and I had her lies in the public eye, where they belonged. The board called the next morning. They weren't just keeping me, they were promoting me, asterisk, they said. Anyone who can survive a storm like that and still stand deserves to lead. The courtroom was cold. Too quiet, asterisk, you could hear a pin drop when I walked in. Asterisk, Karen sat at the defense table, hair still perfect, lips pressed into that same tight, smug smile she wore the day she ruined my life. Asterisk, but her eyes, asterisk, they looked scared. She didn't know who was testifying today. She didn't know what was coming. Asterisk. Melanie took the stand first. She was nervous, voice shaking. Asterisk, but when she locked eyes with Karen, something shifted. Her spine straightened. Asterisk, she told me if I didn't lie, she'd say, Jenna pushed me, Melanie said through tears. Asterisk, she threatened to hurt me. She knew what really happened. I was scared of her. Asterisk, Karen tried to interject. Her lawyer objected. Asterisk, but the jury. Asterisk, they saw everything they needed in Melanie's trembling voice and Karen's cold glare. Asterisk, then came Alexis and Sam, and finally, me. I stood in the witness box and looked straight at Karen. I lost everything because of her. I said, my job, my reputation, my sanity, and for years I stayed quiet because I thought no one would believe me. I paused, then I smiled. Asterisk, but guess what? You were right, Karen. You were more believable, more charming, more perfect. But you forgot one thing. The whole room leaned forward. You forgot I had nothing left to lose, and that kind of woman, she doesn't back down. She fights. Karen scoffed loudly. The judge warned her, but I was already done. Asterisk, the jury deliberated for 2 hours. Asterisk, and when they returned, the foreman didn't even flinch. Asterisk, we find the defendant, Karen Louise Whitmore, guilty on all counts. Asterisk, Karen's mouth dropped open. She screamed as they cuffed her. Greater than, you think this is over? You think I won't find a way back? I made you. But the judge banged the gavel and spoke over her chaos. Greater than the only thing you made, Miss Whitmore, was enemies. Asterisk, and just like that, she was dragged out, still yelling, still fighting the truth. I walked out into sunlight, asterisk, real, warm. Sunlight, the kind I hadn't felt in years, asterisk. Reporters tried to swarm me. Asterisk, I waved them off. I had nothing else to prove. Karen was behind bars. Melanie was safe, and I finally had my name, my life, myself, back. People often ask me now, asterisk, do you forgive her? Asterisk, the truth. I don't have to, because forgiveness is for the living. Asterisk, and Karen, asterisk, that perfect, poisonous version of her. She's gone. And me. I'm still here, still standing, still free. Asterisk, if this story moved you, share it. Someone out there might be living their own version of this nightmare, and they need to know. You are not alone. You are not crazy, and you are not powerless. Asterisk, speak up, fight back, and never ever let someone else hold the key to your freedom, asterisk.